Yeah, I mean, obviously, everybody kind of expected that he was going to get a guilty sentence. It doesn't make it any less devastating. Um, because I think a small part of you holds out that maybe he's not going to get a guilty sentence. But I think the most surprising part is how thin the evidence is. Even and he essentially bakes in his cell during the summer. So Hong Kong has summers, 50 summers. Despite all that, there's essentially very, very thin evidence. There's no evidence that incriminates him. So the fact that they decided to weaponize the legal system to attack my father, it seems to be just purely out of spite and not with no legal basis. Because the heat traps. And this is a 70-year-old man who has diabetes. And so you can imagine that under these conditions, his health, it would make his health deteriorate even quicker than otherwise. And so he's like it's no surprise though. Over the last year alone, he lost 10 kilos. But the conditions he's being kept in, it's all aimed to break him, right? 14 days of solitary confinement is considered prolonged solitary confinement. He's been in there for 1,800, so more than 100 times. Um, it's a form of mental torture, as many people know. And throughout it all, he's in a little cell with light blocked off, so there's no natural light, and he essentially bakes in his cell during the summer. So Hong Kong has summers, 50 summer, for example, this year, where it was 33 degrees and above, and in these conditions, in the cell, it goes up to 40 degrees because the heat traps. And this is a 70-year-old man who has diabetes. And so you can imagine that under these conditions, his health, it would make his health deteriorate even quicker than otherwise. And so he's had rashes where he bleeds all over his body, which leads to, muscle infections. His nails are peeling off. His teeth are rotting. Um, we're incredibly worried about him, and obviously all of that has compounded his heart issues. Now he has heart issues.